They're a real part of modern marriages. The follow-up question to popping the question, will you sign a prenuptial agreement? But how binding are they? Just last week, the High Court threw one out between a couple who met on a website for potential brides, citing the agreement as inappropriate and inadequate. Let's take some legal advice from Aletta Shilton from HHG Legal Group. So, Aletta, can prenupts easily be voided, or is this an extreme case?
It's a unique case. They are designed to be binding, and there are strict requirements for how they're entered into, including their form and content. So it is a unique case in this situation in which it has been set aside.
So will this judgment have an impact on other prenuptial agreements?
It may. The important thing to remember is to get expert legal advice from a family lawyer who deals in this area. A judgment is something that we need to take into account when we're entering into any binding financial agreement, or prenup as we call them, but it's not a factor that's going to stop people from actually arranging these documents.
Aletta, when should couples get one, and what are the standard terms people should be looking to cover in an agreement?
You can enter into a binding financial agreement before you get married, during your relationship, and you can also have an agreement after you separate. So entering into such an agreement is up to the parties in question as to when they want to do it. And the standard terms that they would like to include, well, that really depends upon your circumstances. Some of the terms that we often see are to protect existing assets or to make arrangements about how the assets are to be divided when the parties separate. Obviously, they don't want to separate, but they're arranging their finances in the event that they do.
Is there anything that should be setting off alarm bells if you see it introduced into a contract?
It would depend on the circumstances. Obviously, it's important for each party to provide full disclosure of their finances so that there is a complete and accurate record of what they bring into the relationship. It is important that the circumstances of the binding financial agreement and how it's entered into are clear and transparent, and that it is an agreement that both parties have obviously and must have legal advice on.
All right, Aletta Shilton, thank you for your insight.
Thank you.